Now. And we're on. Well, hey, everybody. It's Mike Copera with podcastcondition.com. This is our 86th episode of What You Drinking. We're here with a sick Dan and Brandon. Dan will be drinking water this evening, which is fine. You could be part of the conversation, which is cool because it sounds like we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's been a couple weeks. We had a last week off. Is everybody hearing me okay? Because I got the mic a little bit further away. I didn't know if it sounded bad or not. You good?
Oh, no, it sounded clear. Yeah.
All right, clear. Cool. And we got Brandon with us as well. Good to see you guys both. How's everything going?
Going pretty good over here.
I'm feeling. No, it was. That's all right. I was at a convention all weekend, and I was actually doing stuff at it. So I got what is affectionately referred to as con crud. It's a cold. But actually, I don't know. Have you ever heard of an artist named John Bivens, Brandon? He writes he pencils a comic called Dark Engine. It's kind of horror-ish sci-fi stuff. It's really good. He's an Eisner Award winner actually, but he was at the convention. I was at one of the panels with him, so I just thought I'd bring it up in case you'd heard the name before.
Cool.
But yeah,
Good deal.
So anyway, that's why I got the cold though. So
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. Put it that way.
All right, that's cool.
So, Dan, did you see? I don't know if you saw, or I posted it to the Winter Beer Fest page that Chris, Mr. Liquid Bread, created. Looks like the list got posted.
Oh,
so,
I heard about that. I haven't seen it yet though.
There's going to be more than 800 beers to choose from over 105 Michigan breweries.
Oh my God, that's just nuts.
I mean, I haven't heard of half of these. This is going to be amazing and confusing and kind of a rush at the same time. We'll be like trying to try everything. I forgot about schmoes. I've seen them a lot online. Anyways, let's talk about the beers that we've got right now because we pulled the wild card, and Dan, we know you're drinking water, which is better for you this evening as you're recuperating because we've got that fest after this weekend, so so you want to make sure you've got enough time to recover.
I can talk about the beer I had on Monday.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, I had two actually. Oh fudge, what were they? You guys go first. I'm gonna have to dig around and remember what I had.
Well, I know that one of them you said was the Old Blue Hair.
Oh yeah, for 2012. That's right. Yep.
It's out of Montana, right?
Yeah, it's Big Sky Brewing. That was phenomenal. That was really good stuff. Yeah, it is funny how much 2 years will knock down the kind of the bigness of the bourbon notes on it. But
was it a 2-year-old? I didn't.
Oh yeah, actually, well, depending on when it came out, it's probably 2 years old. It was a 2012, which means it's just a little over 2. But that was outstanding. I mean, I love barley wines to begin with, especially when they bring in the raisins and the toffees and stuff. Then you get that little vanilla note from the bourbon going too, and it's just wow, it makes it all much better. So it was good stuff, really good.
Nice. So let's hear what you're drinking tonight, Brandon, because it was a surprise you didn't want to tell me over the phone earlier today.
I haven't started drinking it yet, but I picked up beer at a mixed six-pack today, and this is Blue Moon First Peach Ale. Never had this beer before, but I did read some notes on the site, and as far it's a mix of a Belgian sour brown ale and American peach wheat ale, 15 IBUs, 5.6% ABV. They say food pairings, natural. Tart peach taste. This beer will bring out the flavors of nutty dishes and creamy desserts. Come on, with peach like peach pie, but I wonder if this would go good with pumpkin pie. But I don't have any to try.
Nice.
Dan got
I've never seen that one, to be honest. Did that just start getting released, or how long has that been?
I don't know. I've never seen it before, but definitely willing to try it.
I'll bet you that's good with a dessert, though. You're probably right.
Yeah, it would be. Probably would be good with a pumpkin pie, like I said.
There you go. Absolutely.
What's up, Skyler? How you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. Thanks for
All
joining.
right.
Yep.
Good to see you. You were able to join us after probably a busy day for the brewery. How's everything going there?
Always, always, always busy. But it's going really well.
Nice.
Awesome. You guys, were you able to bring any beers from the brewery on the show tonight, or you got homebrew, or did you end up popping
No, I've,
something
I've
that?
been so busy, and I had some bottles, but I've given them all out as samples today. So I just kicking back with something I've had in the fridge for a little bit. Lucky bastard. So
Nice.
figured that was appropriate.
Nice. Yeah, I was on the Stone YouTube page. It looked like they were releasing. It was a Old Guardian, but it was like an extra hopped up version of Old Guardian that they're releasing.
Yeah, for
Brandon looks like he's had it or does not like that.
No, I was overhearing something else over here and just trying not to laugh.
I got you. So, but yeah, it looks awesome. I guess they're doing some kind of a thing where like every other year they're going to take one of their regular beers and kind of do something interesting with it, which is kind of cool because I've been in a complete barley wine freak out. Like I can't get enough of barley wines right now. So I had some good stuff the other day, but I brought one from Pipeworks that I saw because I actually have. This is the Pipeworks Cherry Murderous. So
that sounds new.
Yeah, I think it is. I had never seen it before, and there's like no actual reviews on Beer Advocate yet. They've got a couple on Rate Beer, but it's fairly new. But I have the Murderous in a bourbon barrel aged version from last year in my closet, so I haven't opened that yet. That one's 11%, but this one's 9.5%. So this is their English barley wine brewed with cherries.
Right.
So I'm gonna pop this guy open. Yeah, their website's interesting because they list all their beers by batch number instead of date. So this is batch number 638.
That's pretty
so
good.
it's a cool label. I mean, they all have the Raven usually showing somewhere on the label. You can see the cherry in its claws or whatever talons, if you will.
Actually, if I weren't down, I was thinking of bringing I have batch number 137 of the regular Murderous, so not barrel aged, not cherry. I was gonna bring it, but it's like there's no way I'll kill myself.
I say you bring it. Here's my suggestion, because my thought is for the Michigan Winter Beer Fest, I'm gonna bring some beers that I have in the closet to share, either in the hotel or while we're out. I don't know what the opportunity is going to be to share beers, but we got Chris, Mr. Liquid Bread, to even talk about that, because we've got some updates. It looks like they posted the list, Chris. I don't know if you saw that. I put that up on the Google Plus page you created.
Yeah, I saw it right before before I joined. They should have the actual beer list too eventually.
Oh,
so
nice.
So that way you can have a game plan, because obviously you're not going to be able to hit all these at once, but.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. Oh wow, that's fucking awesome looking. I want to throw some light on that. That's awesome. Yeah, this is looks like a good barley wine. Man, you smell the cherries. That's awesome. So what is the situation with that fest, Chris? Is there an opportunity to meet with some people and share, or is it kind of a meet up at the hotel kind of a thing?
No, there's not. I've never seen a lot of sharing, or really any sharing. It's everybody just standing in line freezing their ass off, and especially this year is going to be bad.
Well, not so much at the fest, because I figure you can't put me there, but like
I've seen people. I've walked into that festival and been in there like an hour and said, "Crap, I got to go out to my car and get something," and ran out and watched people walking in drinking like Sam Adams and stuff. And I'm like, "Why are you pre-drinking crap before you come into a beer festival?" I blew my mind. But, so I have seen people drinking. I don't know how. I don't know how well if it's frowned upon or not. I would, if you're gonna if there's some people you're gonna meet up with, I don't know if we'll catch up or not. But I have seen people where they brought beer up and then hotel it. Especially if you're not downtown and you don't really feel like risking it driving downtown because you'd hit it too hard at the festival, then definitely bring some at the. You'll run into people at the hotel, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, what's up with that shuttle that it looks like it's all the hotels and the all the different breweries in Grand Rapids? Is that new, or are you familiar with that at all?
If it's the hopper,
Yep, that's it.
So I don't remember it going to breweries and stuff. I remember it picking people up and dropping them off at the hotels in terms of transportation to and from.
So
But not necessarily to and from Founders and Brew Vivant and all those places.
so they had when I was in Grand Rapids in December. We went to Mitten Brewing, which was awesome. I would go back there in a heartbeat.
Right.
But they actually had a hopper schedule up on the wall, and it basically was like a set schedule for this bus to go from brewery to brewery within Grand Rapids. So it was like you could take a beer tour.
Okay, so that may be. I don't know if that schedule pertains to Friday and Saturday night at all.
Probably not. There's actually a dedicated page on the Hoppers website that kind of talks about the festival days, what the schedule is, and if you're at specific hotels, you actually get a free ride. You don't even have to reserve a ticket.
Yeah, where are you guys staying at then?
We're at the Holiday Inn on what is it, on Pearl?
Okay, so that's where we stayed last year.
Nice.
That is, believe it or not, freezing your ass off. You can walk to Founders from there. Brew Vivant will be a hike.
Okay.
It's doable, but it's a hike.
Right.
I would suggest going there first, get a little bit of beer running through your system so you got a little bit of warmth, and then walk to Founders if you want to do that. There's taxis as well.
I just think Founders is going to be a madhouse. That's where everyone's going to go, basically.
Yeah, if you want to go to Founders or Hopcat, you're going to have to hit that like midnight or so. It will be a madhouse. So they do have heating outside now at Founders.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So are they using that new expanded area that they extended out? Is there a second level where there's like a patio on the top of that as well? Because I thought I saw an update on their Facebook page that looked kind of like they opened it up.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't been up there. I haven't been up there since the first year that Sweet Repute was released, which would have been 2013.
13, yeah.
Yeah, and I just walked in the store, bought it, and walked out. So, yeah, I don't know. I have no clue I haven't seen that place since they remodeled. Last time I actually sat and drank there, they were under the remodeling. I mean, you had to walk through all these construction fences just to get in the front door. So,
yeah, we were there last January, and it was completed. They had all the fireplaces going and stuff outside. So, yeah, it was cold as balls last year when we were there, and it was fine being outside. It was kind of cool. We ordered food, and we actually sat on the patio in the middle of winter. It was cool. So what are you drinking tonight? We didn't even get to ask you that.
I didn't know what you guys were doing in terms of your beer. I don't have the bottle down here.
Whatever you want, man.
It's a Saugatuck Brewing Company's Reverend Monk, which is their triple. It's not bad. It's got a low rating on Rate Beer. It's like in the 40s, like 46 or something, but there's not much left there. But it's solid. It's a nice representation of the style. So
I had something crazy last night. I was at a friend's house, and I brought like a bomber of the Double Daisy Cutter from Half Acre. That just came out last week, and on top of that beer, we had what is it? What is the brewery? Is it? They always have L'chaim on all the bottles. I can't think of the name. It's
Schmaltz.
Schmaltz.
Yeah, Schmaltz. Somebody had a year and a half to 2-year-old 16th anniversary of theirs. So it was like 16 different malts, 16 different hops, and it was 16% ABV.
I may still have one of those. It's either that or the 17 I still got in there. The 17's the next year. It wasn't as good, but
if it's a 16, it's like perfect right now. Open it because it's fucking delicious. It's so good. Yeah, it was unexpected because when we opened it, I was like, oh my. I'm going to be milking this all night because it was strong. I mean, you just smell it. It smelled like a shot of something. So, anyone else have anything? What would you?
That baby right there?
Yeah, that's the one. How much is that per bottle?
11.
Okay.
So not too bad for this this heavy weight of a beer. So you say it's good now, huh?
It's delicious, man. I mean, it's really boozy, but I liked it. It was really good.
Right down. It was good when it came out. No one was buying it either, and I would just go in there every time I'm at the beer store and go, oh, still got some, and I'd grab another bottle. I think I had 3 or 4 bottles of these and slowly drank them over the past couple of years.
So how many years old is that? I don't know how old Schlafly is, or not Schlafly. What Schmaltz?
Schmaltz, the Hebrew. It is the same age as Arcadia, because Arcadia was celebrating their 16th anniversary, and we gave Tim Surprise, the owner, a bottle of this that night, and they opened in '96. So what is that? 2006, 2011? No. I can't do my math. 6, 4, 5, 2012.
No, would be for 16 years old at least. Wouldn't it be like in the
12?
1990s?
1996 is when they opened, probably, I'm guessing then, and so 16 years would be 2012.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So This was a 2012 bottle, so it's going on 3 years old. Yeah, it says right here, established 1996.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, it's tasting great. So
Okay.
whenever you're ready to open that, it's good.
Yeah, the 17, I think I could still get 17s at the store, believe it or not, and it wasn't quite as good. So they did that every year. I don't know what year they started on, but they did it like at 10 and 11, and it was 10 hops, 10% ABV, 10 malts, and then they went to 11 and 12, and it was like their anniversary beer.
Their reunion ale that they do with Terrapin every year is phenomenal. Like, you hang on to that for a year or two, and it's like perfect. The 2012 was fucking awesome. So I like that brewery. Where are they out of? New York, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. They're part of it's Schmaltz and what's the other? Saratoga Springs, New York. They're part of maybe I'm thinking of Schmaltz. It's Hebrew. No, there's another brewery that they're affiliated with. They're like there's another brewery that's similar to them.
Well, I remember when it started out in the 90s, just prior to that, the guy who got it rolling was out in Colorado, and the initial concern failed, and he moved out to New York, and then he actually started contract brewing out in New York because he figured that it was just a more marketable product out there.
That Mendocino? No, I know you're talking about. I've read that story before too. It was out in California originally. Is that what you said?
I said Colorado, but it could be California. I remember it was one of those two. So, but yeah, that might be what you're thinking about. But there could be something else more current than that too. I don't know.
And the reason I said that is because I just did a search for brewery Saratoga Springs, and Mendocino came up as one of the hits. So I'm like, huh.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and I remember I drank one of their beers a long time ago. Maybe even did a beer review of them, and Mendocino wasn't all that good. Mendocino. I don't like
Mendocino's right.
Mendocino.
Yeah, that's got to be a California brewery then.
My daughter the other night was going through 8-year-old daughter. So I preface that right now. She was going through all the states and their capitals the other day, and she's like, Des Moines, and I'm like, hey, Padre, you want to get over here to see some chicas and some Des Moines? Just like, it's funny. Like Des Moines. She's like, what? 5 minutes later, she's reading through them. She's like, Des Moines. And I'm like, what is this Mexican city I've never heard of?
Like, English is the worst language ever. It's so like confusing to learn. It's like insane if you think about it. But hey, so has anyone else had any good beers lately that just came out or anything like that? How about you, Brandon? How's the selection in your area now?
The selection's still pretty solid. One of the new breweries that came out not too long ago up in northern Mississippi is Sweet Gum. I haven't had any of their beer yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about them, so I certainly would like to try their beer. Got Zapp's Beer Fest coming up next month. I bought a ticket for.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I really haven't tried new exciting stuff. I mean, yeah, I had the Bishop's Barrel 8.
How was that? That was for your birthday, right?
Yeah, that was
Happy belated,
pretty
by the way.
awesome. Thank you, thank you. It was pretty awesome. Definitely liked it more than the Bourbon County.
Really?
Yeah, but I do think St. Paul's barrel aging program has gotten a lot better, and they really have this barrel aged imperial stout thing pretty well down. I mean, of course they do have it down to Goose Island as well. It's just a matter of personal preference. It's easier to sit down and drink 11% beer than it is to drink 14% beer. I mean, just much different. So, but then I still had a Bourbon County after that, and well, it was a fun night.
That sounds like a good birthday.
Yep.
Nice. So what's new at your brewery, Skylar? Are you guys putting anything new out, or kind of still just generating new business and taking care of the current accounts?
Definitely taking care of the bars we're currently in, and we're expanding to a lot more bars. We've got 3 solid production beers in rotation at the local bars, and I'm working on Lafitte's Wheat, which is our kind of light wheat beer to come out next month. So we'll have 4 production beers, at least until the tart cherry brown runs out. That's the seasonal. And then the tap room should be completed by next month. We were putting support beams in today, so yeah, we'll probably have some sort of grand opening for the public next month. That's gonna be fun. And then I'll do something like I'll do like 10 taps for the beers I normally put out, and 10 taps for experimental beers that you can only get at the brewery.
That's awesome. So are you guys planning on bottling and canning it at any time soon, or still sticking to
that? Yes, we're looking at canning very soon, hopefully by the end of the year. And I was in Austin this past weekend for my birthday, and I was talking with an Austin-based brewery that they're upgrading their canning line, and so we're in talks to possibly buy theirs.
Nice. That's very cool.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, that reminds me of the story I just read the other day. Did you guys hear the McKellar is going to be opening up a spot on the West Coast? They're going to be buying the old AleSmith location before or after they move out.
That's right.
So that's kind of cool, because typically they're a gypsy brewer, and they kind of go from brewery to brewery and kind of do collaborations and kind of use other people's equipment, but looks like they're going to have their own place. I think they have one in either, is it New York or San Francisco? I can't remember where they're already established.
Well, you mean an actual brewing facility for McKellar?
Or like a bar. I think they have like a...
No, actually, he's been a busy boy though with Three Floyds, because they're either just about ready to open up or did open up War Pigs, and I want to say Copenhagen.
Yeah, that's overseas. Yep.
Yeah, and I know that I think McKellar actually did have a brew pub in over there already as well, but I don't think he ever had a brewing facility. I could be totally wrong about that.
Facility. Yeah, you're right. Not a brewing facility, just like a kind of a bar is kind of how I saw
It's
it.
in San Francisco or something.
Yeah.
I think where his bar is, or maybe it's New York. I don't remember.
Or was that Evil Twin?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was McKellar or Evil Twin now.
No, I think you're right. I think it is San Francisco now that you mentioned that, because I want to say that I keep seeing it in Beer Advocate magazine.
Evil Twin has something in New York, I believe.
That's what I'm thinking then.
They're on.
I think you're right.
They got to keep their shit across the United States, otherwise they fight or something. I don't know.
Well, it looked like Drew Fox from 18th Street Brewing out of Gary, Indiana, was out in Copenhagen at the McKellar bar, like doing stuff with them too. So, Dan, I like your idea about on the way home from the Michigan Fest to stopping in there at 18th Street, because I'm excited to try some of their beers. I haven't had many other than the one I think that you shared the day that we were brewing beer at your house. So
I'm impressed, because we're dragging so bad on Sunday, usually on the way back home. So
we'll see what happens. But I mean, with 18th Street, even if we don't actually hit the bar or the tap room, as long as we stop in Indiana and hit a liquor store there, because they do not sell outside of the state of Indiana. They're another one of those places where they've got very limited distribution. So we might actually have better luck of buying their product to take home if you're going for bottles or cans. I think they're mostly cans at a store in Indiana rather than going to 18th Street. But I mean, having it right there, it's a nice little place. You can say that you survived being in Gary, which is always a good day, and it's worth it. It's a
Well, it's funny because they just did like a news segment on WGN not too long about how they're trying to like they're trying to do a resurgence there, and 18th Street is like, leading the charge basically with trying to get people out there and spending money and stuff.
So what's the deal? I know I came in on the tail end of this. What's the deal with 18th Street? I'm looking at their website right now. They almost look like just by their bombers, they look like almost like a knockoff of Three Floyds on some of their bombers.
Well, so Drew Fox used to work at Pipeworks. That's where he came up and learned his stuff. So, they did a lot of brewing out of the Pipeworks facility when they first started up, but then they opened up in Gary. And if you want to know a lot about 18th Street, there's a really good podcast called Under My Host on iTunes that you can listen to, and Drew like jumps on and co-hosts pretty much like almost every other episode before they kind of stopped doing episodes on a regular. But like they interviewed him about their brewery, and he's got a good little tale behind their business. So it's a cool place. I've never been there, so I'm excited to either try some more of their beers or hopefully stop in if we can. They've got a cool hockey jersey they were selling over the past week, and I think it's sold out. It's fucking cool looking. I was like, I'm a hockey fan, and that just looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks cool.
So,
Nice.
Brandon, I saw that you had your Blackhawk shirt on. It looks like the Hawks and the Red Wings are tied after the end of the second period, 1-1.
No.
We got about 10 more shots on goal than they do. Are you a Red Wings fan, Chris?
I'm not a big hockey fan, but if I'm going to follow a hockey team, when it's usually playoff time, it's Red Wings. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess the most memorable moment was back in the 90s when they had the big rivalry with Colorado, and they had all those freaking brutal fights in the middle of where Patrick Wall skates out and fights Chris Osgood and crap like that.
Yeah. I'm a big hockey fan, so that was my thing. I went to a couple of years ago. I think one of the last Blackhawks games I went to was Chris Chelios night against Detroit, and so he was there to kind of support both teams. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I respect the Red Wings, even though we're supposed to hate you guys as Hawks fans. I respect the original team. So, so what should we expect for this fest? I don't know if you're going to be available to talk next week. So now that we got you, should we shoot straight to the fest when it opens? Should we wait a little bit for the line to die down so we can get in? Is it?
I would get. When are you guys driving up? Are you driving up Friday or Saturday?
We're gonna go Saturday morning. Probably leave pretty early in the morning just to get there in time.
So it opens at 1 for you guys, right? Because I get in an hour early because I'm a member of the Brewers Guild. So
right.
You guys, I would get in. I would come up. I hate to say this, you're gonna freeze your ass off, but I would try to get up there and pull into the parking lot probably by like 11:30ish.
Well, we've got a hotel to check into, so we'll probably leave the car and cab it or something there, because I don't think we're going to drive back after that.
Right. So, and we have done that. I mean, it depends on how how lit you're going to get and stuff like that. I mean, it's usually a long, slow drinking thing. So, I mean, yeah, you're gonna drive home, and if you got pulled over, yeah, you'd be in trouble with the cops. But I mean, there are cops waving people out when you're getting out of there. They're not bothering you at all. And it's a straight shot down the highway, basically. You just got to know, don't be going the wrong way in a one-way or something like that. Probably the only bad thing I would say, but it's doable. I'm not condoning it, but it's doable. We started taking the hopper last year, and we're probably going to take it again this year. If we get,
I think that's our choice as well.
If you just park at the hotel, obviously you probably can't check in that early. You should be able to take the hopper that morning. So
my thoughts were we were going to be able to get in there. We could probably leave our bags either in the car, or we can leave it with the hotel and they can put them into the room when we when they're able to check us in. So.
Yep. And I mean, don't worry about looking frickin' sweet or anything like that. If you want to wear a snowmobile suit and whatever, you're gonna be amazed at how some of the people are dressed. There's gonna be people that are way underdressed on purpose sometimes. I was a guy last year wearing shorts.
I've seen YouTube videos with like shirtless dudes, and I'm like, what the fuck? No.
And then there's people that are just like they look like they're coming out of the Arctic. So it just depends. Some people bring chairs with them so they can sit around the fires and stuff like that. I wouldn't bring anything necessarily. If you guys don't feel ashamed to make a beer fest necklace, like pretzels and
like whatever else. Necklace.
Whatever else you want to put on. You're going to see everything from pretzels to cheese and jerky to I've seen pork chops and pieces of salmon and strawberries on them. So bring something to eat. There is food there, but you got to pay for it, obviously. And they give you a number of tokens, 15 or 20. I don't remember.
I think it's 15.
I'm not going to condone this either because it's I don't know if there's any monetary if the breweries get any kind of monetary exchange for how many tokens they have. I don't think they do. I think this is just a way to appease the state for we've talked about this before.
That's how it does it in Illinois. Trust me, I understand that completely.
So you can buy more tokens. And you will drink more than, if you're a craft beer guy, you're going to drink more than what you've got. Not much more, but you will. First couple of years we were rookies and we ended up buying extras. But I would, when you walk up, scout it out as you're getting close to the front of the line and, play sleight of hand or play dumb, to walk up and say, yeah, I want such and such. And like founders will usually just serve you and you'll walk on and they won't even say put in a token. But you go to some of the smaller breweries, they're gonna tell you to, hey, did you put a token in? You're like, oh yeah, my bad, I forgot, and then put it in or whatever. Or if he looks away, you can tap your hand on top of the canister, and it sounds like you put one in and you never actually put one in, type thing. So try to play that sleight of hand thing, and you'll won't have to buy any tokens. And then bring a change of clothes, because you'll have your pants, the bottom of your pants will be all wet and stuff from the snow melting from the fires and stuff like that. And I would just get there like around 11:30 because there'll be a line. I'll get there probably about 11, and there'll already be a line for the Brewers Guild, and that'll all go down at noon. But there still will be quite a bit of a line for people that are general admission like you guys. And if you wait too long, you're waiting way, 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 way out of the beer fest, and it's still going to be a pretty long wait. But you guys at 1 o'clock, you guys should be in the beer fest by like 10, 15 after. Like that's how quick the line moves.
No, that's not bad at all.
No, they split everybody up, and I think there's like 4 or 5 or 6 places you can enter, and they just got people like barcode, beep, beep, checking your ID, checking your ticket, ringing it in, and you're just shooting right through. So, and then. I would definitely plan out your night too and where you want to go. Walking distance, you guys could probably walk to the Mitten. It's a little bit of a wacky trek, but you could probably make that. Hopcat Founders definitely are walking distance. Grand Rapids Brewing Company, I've never been there, but that's right there. And there's some other places. If you pull into any bar along there and just go in and sit down, you're going to have a pretty good beer selection, not just Michigan beers, but some, sometimes out of state and even out of overseas beers, depending on where you go. Even there's a B-Dubs right in there that's pretty solid. And you guys are going to be staying just right around the corner from us. So we're in the hotel around the corner from you, which is not Van Andel Arena. That's the arena. It's one of the old hotels in that town, but it's like across the street and just on the corner from where you guys are at. So
what's your plan? Are you meeting up with other people, or are you kind of going solo, or what's your?
So there was 4 of us going. We're going up Friday. We decided to take Friday afternoon off and just go up and just kind of cruise Grand Rapids and do our own thing, and then Saturday Beer Fest. Out of those 4 people, a 5th one joined us. And 2 more left us. So we're still trying to. I don't necessarily have control of the 2 extra tickets, but I've got those 2 guys are like trying to find out whether or not their buddies are going to replace their and take their other ticket. If not, then I've got some wheeling and dealing to do with people that I know. So we're going up Friday. I think we're going to hit Perrin, check into hotel, Brewery Vivant. to eat, and then there's like a whiskey, weird like hipster whiskey place one of my friends wants to go, so we're gonna go there, and then a cigar place, and then just play it by ear. And then for Saturday, it's basically just kind of wing it. We always just kind of wing it. Sometimes we've even gotten in the car and driven out to a brewery called Hideout, which is like in the weirdest place. I mean, the name is perfect because you would never find this place without a map.
Right.
It's like at the end of a cul-de-sac. It's like off a beaten path. You drive down the cul-de-sac, and it's like you're driving in the middle of, you're getting ready to go into like maybe some kind of weird housing project or something, and all of a sudden, oh, here's the Fox affiliate, and oh, there's this cement building next door that's a brewery that's like dinky as hell. But no one goes there, so if you show up at like 8 or 9 o'clock, after you've been drinking all day and kind of sobered up, got some food in your belly, and you go there, it's a nice kind of relaxing, kind of place. But I don't know if we'll get in the car. I think we're just going to walk around and just kind of go, shoot from the hip. We hit Hopcat last year at about midnight, and it was pretty busy. But what people don't understand is when you walk into Hopcat, if you walk all the way straight through the back and you hit the back,
and go to the right. Yeah.
Go to the left. There's like a patio outside that's heated, and a lot of people forget that that's there.
Nice.
And
I didn't even know they had an outdoor area.
Yeah, it's all glassed in and heated, and you can see it from the outside. But a lot of people walk in and they go, "Oh my God, this place is packed." And if you can just send like one guy in and say, "Hey, go check the patio, see if there's any." They have like picnic tables out there. You can go out there, and we walked through last year like around midnight. Walked all the way through and came out that side. There was a big picnic table, so we all popped a seat down in there, and we all ordered Dogfish 120s and sat there and just sipped them for 2 hours. So
Nice.
it was like, that's when I saw the one Canadian guy, Ewart Reeves. He does Strange Bruisings. He ran into us at the Brewfest a couple times, and then he showed up at Hopcat. He texted me, and I'm like, "Yeah, we're at Hopcat." And he shows up. He goes, "You fucking Americans, man." He's like, "You guys are at a beer fest all day, and you're finishing the night with 120s," and we're like, "That's how we roll, bitch." So
Yeah, I'll have to get you my number so we can text and meet up at least at the fest, because we gotta have some beers together.
and it's not that big. It's not that big of an area. I mean, you'll get there, and it's nothing like Navy. I would say it's about the size of inside of the Navy Pier at the end there, and the outside, which is what we did with Beer Camp. I'd say it's about square footage about the same. But the problem is everyone's moving, so it's hard that sometimes you'll run into people, and I don't know if anybody's going to have any Mr. Liquid Bread stuff on. I'll have my jacket on my breast, so you'll see that. I don't know if I'll have a hat on that'll say Mr. Liquid Bread, and unless my brother comes, who may take one of the tickets, there probably won't be anybody else with Mr. Liquid Bread stuff on. Otherwise, I'd tell you to look for that, but
I'll text you, or you can text me
Yeah.
and let me know when you're there, and we'll be there Saturday.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We'll figure it out. And what a lot of times I'll do is I'll have somebody. If you guys get there early enough, I'll walk out of line and go back and find you in line and say, "Hey, what's up?" and shoot the shit with you for a minute before I actually go in or something.
Cool.
Nice.
Sounds good. I'm excited, man. There's a lot of beers that apparently are going to be there.
Yeah, there's some big stuff that the breweries will bring that you won't find in bottles anywhere. Now, Dark Horse, I don't know if they're going to bring this. I asked one of the guys there, and they said they didn't know, but they just barrel-aged their Trade Blueberry, and they were supposed to release it at their brewery this month, and I figured they'd probably keep like a keg or so to bring with them. Usually Dark Horse, so every brewery has a tent, and if they have a shit ton of tappings, they'll actually rent 2 tents out. Dark Horse has been known to have 4 or 5 of those. I mean, that's how many tappings they've got, and you're like, where do I start? And they'll spread them out. There'll be one on this side, one on that side.
Oh yeah, I've seen videos where they're like, yeah, they've got a tent over here and they've got a tent on the other side.
Well, Greenbush almost looks like they're that way too. From the tap list that I saw last year, I was just like, when does this end?
Yeah,
It
that's
just kept
crazy.
going.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Same with Shorts. They go all out, don't they, at this fest too?
Yeah, they have this wacky. You'll be able to find them easy because they've got this rotating the Shorts logo on this big rotating, like it's like a statue of the logo rotating above their tent. And they're usually right as you walk in the door near there, and they've got this round bar, so they've got all these taps around the bar, and you go up there, and they eventually, as the day goes on, each tap start they dry out, and there's only a few left by the end of the day. So I'd say shorts early. Greenbush probably hit early. Check Founders when they come up the beer list. Founders will probably have some of them will have the scheduled tappings, and I would be very surprised if Founders does not tap some CBS.
So
gotta
good.
have some of that.
They tapped some at a beer festival in Wisconsin a couple weeks
Heard
ago.
about that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be
They've
surprised.
tapped some in Chicago at a couple bars. Hopleaf had
They
an
tapped some
event
in Baton Rouge at a few bars as well, and I missed every night because I wasn't in Baton Rouge those nights.
It was awesome.
And if they have it, show
was
up
awesome.
early, because the year that they actually bottled it that year, and maybe it was the Winter Beer Fest after the year they bottled it. That was a madhouse, and that keg went dry so quick, and they weren't taking tokens, and if they got a glass shoved in their face, they were filling it. So I could have taken a glass, shoved it in the face, they would have filled it, I would have slammed it, and then shoved it to another person, they would have filled it. And so
I was at a Founders Fest one year when they released it, and they were doing the exact same thing. You could just have it right there, and they're like, "Yeah, you want another one? That's fine." I was like,
yeah, you just got to get up in the front of the line and be kind of rude. Otherwise, if you wait in line like a polite guy, you're not gonna get any. So. So yeah, look for those tappings. Kunin will probably bring their what's their Blueberry Eisenbach? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. The big.
I'm not familiar with a
sounds
lot
good.
of their stuff.
Go.
You know what? Another brewery that I don't know that you mentioned earlier is Brewery Vivant. So we can get their beers here in Chicago through Binny's. I've not had any of their stuff. I should, because apparently I know you've done some reviews on some. I've seen some of your videos. So, is their brewery worth checking out, or what kind of setting or what kind of experience should you expect when you go there?
So I'll go as I'm talking about this. I'll scroll through here and see if there are any other that catch my eye. But Brewery Vivant's pretty much all farmhouse brewery. They do all their stuff as some kind of farmhouse twist. But they do some kind of eclectic things with those beers. So so they'll have like a pale ale, like their Big Red Cock is a red, I think a red pale or something like that.
Did you do that in the hotel after the Winter Ale Fest last year?
That was in a hotel in Grand Rapids, but it was in the summer. No, it was
okay.
I met my buddy. He was coming from Lansing, and I met him up there, and we hung out and drank that weekend. But yeah, Big Red Cock. I mean, they make a lot of really solid beers, and they're one of the other reasons they're kind of, I guess, popular here in Michigan is they built their brewery in an old like chapel/church thing that's part of a funeral home. So it looks cool on the inside, and it's not very big. And then on top of that, their food right out of the gate, they were like in Food Magazine as like one of the best food places or whatever. So if you guys can get there and eat that night, and that will be packed as well, but you might be able to get in there. Their food's pretty damn decent, and their beers are freaking pretty good if you like that farmhouse kind of, not funky, but that hay strawy, how farmhouses are.
Yeah.
Kunin is a really great brewery, but no one's ever heard of them because they don't distribute.
I love them.
They don't.
They're a great brewery.
Yeah, you got to go there and check out their beers. There's somebody you need to check out for sure. There's somebody. My buddy just said something about Cotton Brewing Company today about I want to check out one of their beers. They have a smoked pork belly something, and he goes, "It sounds awesome." And I'm like, it's like it's a Roush beer, but. A Roush beer, but I never even heard of this brewery. So there's a lot of breweries on here. I'm like, where are the
so many I've never heard of.
Yeah, there's some of these I do recognize, but yeah, and I can actually tell you some of the breweries that don't even try. That's probably easier. Some of them, like, don't go to the Bob.
No, I hate that place.
Yeah, that place is stupid.
Every tap has like some character of some sexy woman or whatever, and it's just. All their beers are they're nothing.
It's a nightclub that brews their own beer, put it that
way. That is the best way to ever describe that place. I agree.
You could try Jolly Pumpkin. I don't know what they'll have that's different if you want something that's sour. I'm trying to see. Definitely hit Oddside. Do you guys get Oddside over there?
No, they're awesome.
I have their Black Citra IPA in my fridge waiting for Dan to come pick it up.
I'll get it. I will get it.
It's good. Their Citra Pale Ale. Their Citra Pale Ale is the closest thing that I've had to to zombie dust, and you can get it easily in Michigan. Just cross the border, you can get a ton of it.
Right. They're weird because a couple years ago I wouldn't even have thought twice about them. I don't know if they got a new brewer or they said let's buckle down, let's do some good shit or what, but they just blew the hell up the last couple of years. Definitely go by them. I guarantee they'll have something wacky.
How far from Grand Rapids are they?
Oh, they're Grand Haven. They're
Grand
like
Haven's-
up the river shore.
Yeah, just kind of
lake shore rather.
kind of right over from Grand Rapids. So so definitely hit Oddside. Hit Perrin. Perrin's
Parents gonna be a mad fucking house.
Well-
they're crazy on any Saturday or Friday night.
well, and that's what we were going to try Friday nights at Perrin. We could, or Friday during the day, like right after lunch when we get up there.
Yeah,
we
go
figured-
early, dude.
Yeah, they go to their tent though. I shouldn't say tent. Their bus. They bring a bus. They're the only ones that bring a vehicle, and you walk through the bus to get your beers. I have yet to be in through there, but their Baron's the one that one of the guys, one of their brewers is the guy that helped develop the KBS recipe for Founders. But if you're going to hit them in short. I would hit them, Shorts, and Greenbush. If you want to hit them early, right off the bat. You get there, you hit those three, and then just kind of Russian roulette the rest of the day. Because after that, you're going to be, what is this? This place has got. You're going to see some wacky fucking beers. I'll tell you that.
I'm just so excited. I think Michigan's probably one of my favorite states for beer, and this is a fest that I've looked forward to for a long time. I've never gotten a ticket, so I'm glad to go.
Tapestry. Have you guys been to Tapestry yet?
No.
I've been there about 2 times. The first time I went, I wasn't very impressed, but the second time they have definitely improved and they've gotten a lot.
Okay.
I was just going to ask, how does the Winterfest compare to the Summerfest? And that's in Ypsilanti, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's always been 2 days. And it's like by a creek or some river or something. It's like in some park, like by the river. And I've never actually been to it.
Okay.
And I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. It's just I think it's just how it lands wherever it lands. I've got other shit going on. You know, there's nothing going on at the end of February in my life. It's like honey, shovel the driveway again. Ah, fuck. You know, that's the extent of my weekend. So, and wherever they have that June or July, it's like I got a ton of other crap going on, and it's somebody will go, hey, you want to go to Summer Beer Fest? And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm doing this that same weekend or the weekend before, and so I've never gone to it. Plus, I don't know, and maybe this is just the beer snob coming out of me, but I don't know how creative you can get with some of those beers that I want to drink in the summer. I'm definitely not wanting to drink any bourbon barrel aged anything really. How creative can you get with wheat? I mean, pale ales. You'll have some killer pale ales, but after a while, 3 hours of drinking pale ales, your palate's shot.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just hasn't appealed to me. And we went one Winter Beer Fest and just loved the hell out of it. And it's always sold out. Like it started selling out years ago before Summer Beer Fest. So obviously it's unless they do more tickets for summer. Which I wouldn't think that they would. The winter one is way more popular, at least on Saturdays it is. So,
I love the idea of the outdoor winter beer festival. It's just so cool. They started doing it in a suburb here in the Chicago area in Naperville, and I think it's just a great idea because I mean it's supposed to be cold too. I think we saw someone was mentioning on the page that it's the forecast is not warming up at all. So
no, originally we were looking at a week out, I think, and it was, oh yeah, it might get up to like 40 and sunny, and I'm like,
yeah, no way.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shit. The last brewery, real quick, the last brewery I want you guys definitely to check out, and then the rest of this is all you guys just do your own thing. You gotta check out Wolverine because I'm sure you guys don't get their shit over there.
Oh, is that? You've been freaking out about their lagers recently?
Yeah,
they're all lagers.
Yep, they do all lagers, and you will be floored by some of the lagers they do. They do a DIPA. Well, I call it a DIPA, Dipple, I guess you want to call it or something, but a double India Pale Lager, and I'll tell you what, you're like, I cannot believe this is a lager, dude. There's no fucking way. So check out. They make a dark lager. They barrel age, and the weight of it just doesn't. It looks like a stout, but you can tell it's not quite. The weight when you're drinking it isn't quite a stout, but it's still, it blows in a lot of barrel-aged stouts away, just being a dark lager. So yeah, definitely check them out. And then everything else is pretty much Easter egg hunt. So
Yeah, because I remember I met one of the owners of Wolverine Brewing Company like before they were about to open. I was at GABF, and I was at the Rolling Rock or the Falling Rock. Yeah, the Falling Rock is like this amazing beer bar out there, and I was doing a podcast I was recording an interview with the Beer Wench and the New Holland. They did some collaboration beer. And we were talking about that, and sitting next to us was some woman that I didn't know who she was. But after the interview ended, we were just kind of having some beers and catching up. And she was like, "Yeah, we're starting a brewery in Michigan called Wolverine Brewing," and she explained how it's going to be all lagers and everything. So it was a cool little introduction to like a brewery before it started, and I've only seen any of their beers through your post, so it's kind of cool to check it out. Are they like a West Michigan beer brewery? It's like a West Michigan University or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, it's the west side of Ann Arbor actually, so U of M. But excuse me, it's the west side of Ann Arbor, and it's a nice side. I just introduced my in-laws to it that live over in a town just west of Ann Arbor. And they're like, "Man, I really like this place, and yada, yada, yada." And so we had a couple of their beers, and, they actually like some of the beers that are there. In fact, I wonder if Chelsea's going to be there. Yep, Chelsea Ale House. That's where their town's Chelsea, and they hate their ale house because their beers are, I don't know, they brew the same shit, and it's kind of ho-hum beers. And they're not big craft beer people, so they're impressed that they are actually detecting the meh beers, that aren't that good, but then actually like the good beers. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out because it's just amazing. They're not just doing, the light lagers, and they will do that, and maybe they may have one on tap, but they definitely really try to mimic the ale side of the beer universe with their lagers, and they do a really good job.
Yeah, everything I see that you ever post is usually pretty much high praise, so I definitely want to check them out. Where are they located? You said just west of Kalamazoo, or
Ann Arbor, which is over by Detroit. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, they're a little further than I thought they were then. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
they're straight down 94 pretty much, and not too off, right off 94 if you ever go down that strip. But yeah, I would say definitely. Check out Wolverine, Brew Vivant, Shorts, obviously, Greenbush, and Perrin, and keep an eye on the founders list when you see that, because they'll have the times that they're tapping stuff, and Kunin is the only other one I can think of that really is. I mean, if you want to do Bell's, you can do that, but I already saw Bell's tap list, and they're screwing us over on Saturdays. So it's,
you love them so much.
Well, did you see the post I made on that?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna pull it up. But they're basically what they did is they said, okay, obviously Friday's not sold out yet, so they're like, all right, we're gonna pull all these heavyweight beers out for Friday to try to get people to come, and then we're just gonna kind of do all of our new kind of beers you've never heard of, don't have any idea what they're gonna taste like.
There we go.
Did you find it?
I think so.
I'm looking right now. I'm scrolling down here. I was all pissed off. I was like, whatever, you assholes.
You hate them so much.
The title's called Beer Leftovers. Oh, that's not it. Bell's is loving Michigan Winter Beer Fest Friday edition is what it was. And then
that's hilarious.
Here's their Friday. Expedition Stout pre-2008. Expedition Stout 2008, 2009, 2012. Third Coast Old Ale 2004, 2008, 2009, 2012. Cherry Stout 2001, 2008, 2012, 2009.
Damn.
Eccentric Ale.
Cherry Stout.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I love that Cherry Stout. I'm sorry, I do. I like
Eccentric Ale, I won't even list those. Black Note 2012, Black Note 2014, Batch 9000.
That shit's good.
And then they've got some other ones, Hop Slam, Winter White, no big deal. And that's on Friday. Saturday, it's Quince Love, Wild Berry Rye. Black Note will be on at 2 o'clock. Honey Hearted, which I assume is something with Two Hearted. They did something with honey, more honey in Two Hearted probably. Cinnamon Sunrise Stout, Two Hearted. Smitten Golden Rye, Winter White, Third Coast Ale, Cherry Stout, 2014. The rest of these are just Java Stout, California Ale, Hop Slam. Yeah, they just didn't bring out the big dogs, and so I'm like, come on.
Yeah. The Black Note is, I think that's going to be a big hit, especially 2012. You said.
Yeah.
Nice.
Batch 9000, I think that's a couple years old. My buddy's actually got a bottle of that stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
That shit's good. I had the 7000 a couple years ago, and the 9000. All that shit's good.
All right.
Skylar, I was going to ask you. I saw you were in Austin. I don't know if you're still there. I see your picture looks a little frozen on the bottom there. You still there?
He's sleeping. I think he's sleeping.
I think he's froze.
Could be.
Looks like he was having some good times in Austin, though. There's apparently a good beer scene going down there. But we're getting close to the point where we should probably pick some categories for the show anyway. So, do we want to change anything here? So let me read off what we've got. The wild card, which we just did today. Anything is a collaboration. Canned beer, anything local, a sour, a barley wine, a beer you can't pronounce, malt liquor, Brandon, Doppelbock, a death label. So any label that has a death thing going on. Oh, there's Skylar. Looks like you hit.
Yeah, I could hear you guys just fine, but I guess you guys saw that I was frozen. But anyway, yeah, you asked me about Austin.
Yeah.
What about it?
What'd you guys have, or
Where's Austin located?
Boston, Texas.
Oh,
Austin is the only good
Austin,
place.
Massachusetts.
But no, it went a lot of places. It was my 26th birthday, so I've got most of my friends live out in Austin, so I try and go and visit them when I can. So I crashed on some couches, and we went out to Rainy Street, which for you not Austin people, Rainy Street is, and this is very Austin. It's in a residential neighborhood, and it's a street in which everyone who has a home there has converted their home to a bar, restaurant, or venue. So it's just a street where you just go into people's houses that are bars and
That is awesome.
and have awesome beer and just like lots of local stuff, and it's a great time. And then after that, we went to 6th Street, which is of course Party Central in Austin, and tore shit up there. By that point, I can't remember much, but I know it's
good.
A lot of really good beer because I checked my Untappd the next day. I was like, I still knew how to use Untappd. So
wow. You need to give a class on that. Do like a podcast.
That's good because I give up after a certain point. I'm just like, nah.
But I was like, no, I have to try. Yeah, I went to a lot of breweries. I respect a lot of the breweries coming out of Austin because I feel like they were the ones that really kind of kick-started Texas craft beer. Austin has a huge craft beer scene. Dallas has a huge craft beer scene. Houston and Galveston are there's still a lot of work to do. So yeah, I like going over there and seeing what I can get when I can. Yeah, it was a great weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds fun, man. Glad to hear it.
Real quick, Mike, how did you check into the Google Plus event for that next weekend already? You're the only one that's checked in, and I was like, how the hell did he check in already?
I don't know either.
Did
I'm
I?
trying to find this thing. I have no idea where it is.
I have no idea. I thought I was just
You're special.
joining the group.
Here, I'll share it with you, Dan. Yeah, I don't know how you did that because I wasn't even able to check in, and I'm the damn creator.
You created the thing.
It's its own black hole.
No idea. I thought I was just kind of joining the group. I don't know. I
That's
own
okay.
it now.
So what'll happen, by the way, guys, on that, and I don't know, this is the most people I've had actually say they're coming or whatever. It said yes to the event. When that event gets close, whatever time I started it, it should pop up on your phone or something when you take a picture or when you go to it, or it'll remind you. And if you select yes to something on there, I don't remember how it works, but it will actually, every picture and video you take from that point out will automatically upload to the event.
Nice.
Oh, wow. All right.
So keep that in mind, because if there's like, oh yeah, I want to do that, and then later on you're taking a picture, and then you're like, yeah, I got to share this on the event, you'll double dip on it, and there'll be double pictures, which is not a big deal, but
Yeah.
I encourage everybody to take pictures of whatever the hell you want. You want to take pictures of yourself tying your shoes before you like get in the car at 6 a.m. in Chicago? I'll do it. I encourage it. I don't care. It's just, I just like looking back through there.
Don't even say that. You'll get so many stupid photos from me.
Okay. It's awesome.
No, I'm excited, and I posted on the chat my cell phone, so feel free to text me when you get out there so we can meet up, because we gotta have some beers. There's no reason why we should be out there together and not meet up. So let me know.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna let this the wheel ride, because I think everything on here is pretty accurate. We don't need to add anything yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little tappy tap. It's giving the spin here, and we landed on what looks like
Canned beer.
canned beer. All right,
Nice.
that.
Yep.
I got plenty in the cellar, and I got plenty I could buy in the store, so we're good there. So I appreciate everybody joining us this week. We're going to end it here. Look forward to next weekend. We'll have another show before the festival and everything. But feel free to join us again, Chris, if you like.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody that made it, and anyone who watches after this. After a post on YouTube, please like the video, comment, let us know anything you want to hear us talk about or discuss, or any beers you want us to try to grab in the Chicagoland area or wherever everyone else is from. There's Texas guys, we got Michigan, we got where are you at, Brandon? Now are you Louisiana? You're not Louisiana anymore. You're in.
I split time between Louisiana and Mississippi.
Oh, you're flipping around. Okay, so you got a couple areas that you can buy some beers from. So, if you guys want to see us talk about some beers in those areas, let us know, and we'll be happy to try to grab some of those. At least I will. So, I don't want to put any words in any of you guys' mouths. So, but thanks for joining us. Next week we're going to be drinking canned beers, and yeah, I guess that's all we got. So thanks, guys. Cheers, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.